Oh, yeah. Where the fuck is Ja Rule? Let's get it. Previously on Kimba TV. Let's just start with what's not debatable and what's factually correct. Poor, weak, poor. So, at the end of the day, if this goes first, I'm not shorting anything. In fact, I think I'm not shorting until 50. If we rotate to 45 first, that's okay, but that's actually really bearish. In which case, I wouldn't be longing this, and I would expect to be able to hit my TPs down here at the 32. Hey, how we doing? Good morning, Bugatti boys and girls. Mic check. Will the loser says, Kimba, the plan is still the same. Will, what I want you to do is go back to last week. Start maybe around Thursday and watch the highlights. Because what you're not getting is why the plan is the plan. So not only do we discuss what the plan is, we talk about why and the invalidation of those plans. And understanding that is the most important thing. Memorizing what I tell you is not learning. Okay? Understanding what I'm telling you is learning. So, Will, make sure you go back and listen to all the reasons why the plan is the plan and all the reasons why the plan would change. All right? Because, memorizing what I say, being able to repeat what I said on stream is not really learning, right? Yeah, so that's one of the biggest reasons why I always tell people to rewind or get caught up or watch the highlights. Because if you just understand why, you will never have to ask me again what my plan is and if the plan has changed. There's a reason why I would say 95 to 99% of people that have been watching me for a year or more are able to almost pinpoint exactly what my position size is and what my entry is, because I do the same shit over and over. Danny says, can you explain why you chart on the USD and not USDT pair on Bybit? Sure, it's a pretty common question. I would say we get it at least 3 or 4 times a week. The long story short is that it's pattern recognition, Danny. So I want you to start looking at Binance, CVD, and open interest delta, and you tell me how many CVD bull divs, bear divs, hidden bull divs, hidden bear divs that work on Binance CVD versus the CVD on the Bybit BTC USD pair. I would say that the CVD on the Bybit BTC USD pair in the last 6 months have been working about 80% of the time. The CVD on the Binance BTC USDT pair has been like a 20%er. So it's about being able to recognize the pattern, Danny. At some point, I'm sure that the BTC USD Bybit pair won't be as obvious, and it's our responsibility to be able to understand that and switch. But everything, why do I look at Coinbase? Why do I look at Binance Magneto? Basically, it all has to do with pattern recognition. Whatever data that pair is pumping out, it has been more relevant. So if I stop using the Bybit BTC USD pair, it's because I'm noticing that something else is more reliable. That's it. It doesn't matter if it's a specific time frame that I'm using. It doesn't matter if it's a specific data point that I'm using. It's because I know from historical relevance that it's reliable. Okay, so as soon as I start seeing Binance BTC USDT pair, CVD, and open interest delta being more reliable, then that's the one I'm going to use. Roger that. I cycle through all of them just to make sure that the one that I'm looking at is the best one, right? Because if it nukes through 39, you have a higher probability to sweep the bad lows. There you go, desk slap. It's that simple. I'm not hoping for it. I'm not talking to you about, oh man, it smells like, it feels like, it looks like it's going to nuke. No. I'm going step by step, level by level. And desk slap, you're ready for this? You know that it could potentially just sweep this, right? We can also sweep this, right? This is the one that I would want because it would stop out all the long liquidity, okay? But I am also prepared for a 41.3 sweep. So it's level by level, okay? We'll take it level by level. No reason to try to predict the future. So we're about to be over a milli if we include the Kraken position. Bugatti math. Wetflix says, we going. I see you, Wetflix. Dude, the math is the math. Hey, y'all better be ready, though. I swear to fucking God, if anybody talks to me about, hey, man, why did you take a long at 41.350? I'm going to Hawaii early. I swear to God, somebody is going to be like, why do you have a 41.300 long? Boy, you better quit playing with me. Why do you have a 39.5 long? Y'all ready, right? Hello? Let's get nasty, y'all. The math is the math. You either know how to read the shit that's in front of you or you don't. Bro Toya says that's all the recap I needed. Bro Toya, nothing has changed since yesterday. Do you believe in the math, y'all? And the most important thing, okay, is do they grab those poor lows before rotating out of a range? I think it looks like it. I'm telling y'all, when was the last time we left a range without grabbing the weak lows? Come on. Bugatti money. You know what it's going to do for the next 2 hours, right? This will be the stream today. And then when I leave and I get on my 6-hour flight, okay? Come on, you already know. Math. They know that I'm going to have a 6-hour flight back to Cali. Come on, man. Crypto Hawks' story of my life. Let's go. A prepared, exclamation prepared. 20-piece chicken nugget says, why watch the hot tub streams when you can juice with the boys? Exactly, juice with the boys, then actually live in a reality where you've got bitches in your hot tub. Don't watch other people in a hot tub. Make sure that you've got the chicks in your hot tub. Bugatti, juice, math, easy money, Bugatti money. Hello? Motherfucker, the math is the math. The math is the math. I said, are you strong? They said, I'm strong if you strong. Well, we strong then. Come on, baby. Is it my hands? I don't know. I sat here trying to remind y'all of the probabilities. I rarely share opinion. I'm just trying to remind y'all what we've seen hundreds and thousands of times together in the last 2 years. I'm thinking of a small trip to NY. Is it possible to meet you somewhere if I wear a Kimba hoodie? Haha. I'm already with you, my guy. I might not be there physically with you, but I'm in your heart. Some of y'all will DM me and be like, I don't know if I really heard it or not, but I heard somebody say the math is the math. Was that you? So I'm already with you. I'm inside each and every one of you. Pause.
What?
Always long BTC says, are you going to go long before fully closing your short? It's a possibility, always long. So first things first, do you remember what I said that I would do down here? Always long. I have my TPs here, right? I showed you my 2 limit TPs here, okay? Do you remember when I said that I have my 2 limit, but if it does this, I'm going to move my stop loss down to the 40,150? Do you remember me talking about that? So is it possible that I get into, it does this, my limits get hit, I move my stop loss down to here, and on its way back up, I get filled on a long. So theoretically, I'm in a long before I fully close my short? Yes. The thing is, You know some motherfucker already asked that question 2 days ago. So, yeah, theoretically, yes, I could, right? Always long, because that's how I'm going to play my short. I'm going to let it hit my limits, okay? But if it reclaims this level, I'm going to close it. All right? There's also a chance that I get closed out fully on my short and I'm not in a long. Always long. So the most important thing is that you grab your nuts and you nut up. And we've had 2-3 days to plan for all this shit. So you have your plan and you execute what you think is right. Don't wait for me to get into a long. Don't get into a long just because I got into a long. Don't hold on to your short because I still have my short open. It's your money. No one's going to care about it more than you. So I'm going to try to do my best for me. You should try to do the best for you. And no matter what happens, it's a learning opportunity. Yeah, but I mean, we've had 2-3 days to plan for this potential long, right? So the last thing that you got to do is nut up, man up, and let's execute. Don't pussy out on me after 2 days of planning. Proxima says, like cars versus horses, just the next stage. Yep. It's bound to happen. Let's get nasty, y'all. The math is the math. CME, not sweeping. CME, not sweeping. Coinbase. Let's get nasty. Math. Let's go. SM poo-poo. Let's go. Great confluence with S&P. Let's go. Bugatti. Bugatti. Show me. Show me. And the poor low has been taken across everywhere. Derivatives, taken. Coinbase, taken. CME, that bitch took it earlier, but yeah, Bugatti. So now we'll see, once again, if this can sweep. You know how I feel, but there you go. Now, you could actually argue to me, hey, bro, the weak low, the poor low got taken. All right, so if you are bullish and you want to argue to me about the probabilities of getting into a long, now you finally can. But yeah, you got 16 minutes on this 30-minute candle close. We juicing. Easy money, Bugatti money. Do you believe in the math? And once again, ladies and gentlemen, the math plays out. You can't leave a range until you stop out the poor lows and the weak lows. You can't get out of the range until you get the weak highs and the poor highs. All right? Kimba Gang Lions, you should only be enjoying the primo Letuche, okay? If it's a bad high, it's going to come back and get you. The math is the math. I was trying to tell Sato, bro, there's a poor low down there. And he kept talking about, I'm not poor, I'm not poor. And I just gave up. So I don't know. He was in the VIP chat, and I was like, bro, you have a poor low at 41.3. And he just kept saying, I am not poor. I said, God damn it. So I tried to help, but yeah, it is what it is, y'all. Bugatti? How are you guys enjoying this shit, though? Hey, this is, again, like an 80%, 90%er. You can't leave the range until you grab the poor and the poor low and the poor high. So now it's complete. So if you want to start thinking about longing, now it would make sense. You don't have any sort of edge anywhere, and the open interest certainly is not inviting for a long, but maybe you get a bearish retest. I don't know. The math is the math. Our Tarziva says 300%. Yeah, I mean, you know that I also have a 60 Bitcoin position. I already TP'd 15, but it's basically, so it's 60 on cracks, 40 here. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, 14 minutes. You already know what it is. 14 minutes. Here we go. CME. Coinbase. So everybody that was like, it's a sweep structure on Coinbase. Now it is. Earlier it was not. You think this is going to hold? Let's see. Longers, I'm rooting for you. Shorters, I'm rooting for you. Let's fucking go. In my opinion, at this point, the trade is a W. If I piss away like 50K unrealized, I'm not really tripping. But we were patient. We waited. There you go. The poor low got. And the most important thing is what do you think Macaulay Culkin is going to do? If you know, you know, but there is a generalizable, like high probability play. I've gotten into these longs before. I've already taken these longs before. You guys have seen me do it live. What usually happens during Macaulay? My ass just gets stopped out. So I'm going to just be patient with it. Alrighty? But if you already are in a long, there's nothing wrong with that. Do you, boo-boo. And the real juice is you're going to be able to improve and learn. Maybe you're on like a 5-minute swing failure pattern, and maybe the real juice is for you to learn, hey, man, you shouldn't do that. Ephelon says, oh, yeah, I remember those longs that didn't work out well. Yeah, so, you know, I'm going to just be patient with it, Ephelon. Alrighty? But you see this, right? CME. Okay? Coinbase. Binance derivatives. You guys see the open interest. What the fuck? So you had a bunch of cuties opening up along here. Look at where my mouse is. 5.1 million in longs opened here. 4 million opened here. 4 million opened at this price point. You had another 3 million open right here. These fuckers are going to start tripping if it goes, you know, down to like 41.1, right? Have these guys closed yet? Has the open interest on the long gone down? So this dickhead that opened a $5 million position here, the $4 million position here, they're still open. So could it work? Yes. But they're going to start to get trapped if this gets lower and lower. And then you're going to see a okay? And what did we say is where we would want to long? When these dickheads that are longing here, when they go short here, oh my God. Bugatti! Anyways, we're all seeing the same shit here. You can clearly see how many and where they open longs. Could these longers still get away with it? Yes. Could these guys get away with these longs? Absolutely. Okay? But you know that they haven't closed yet. And you know that if it starts to make continually lower highs and lower lows, let's see when this resets. And that's how you can use data to tell if people are getting trapped or not. Y'all Gucci, I'm going to go make some more coffee. I'm going to go Latuche up again, all right? I'll run back in here. If something crazy is happening. But I'm not going to, you know, put out my infused J or blunt early just because it does this, because we already talked about that. And I don't give a shit if it does that. And I have my own plans, and everybody should have their own plan if that happens. I'm not going to rush back in here if it does that, but, you know, if like open interest is skyrocketing or something that we didn't anticipate is happening, I'll run back in here. But for the most part, we're good, right? Hey, shout outs to this guy right here. Shout outs to the guy that's in a $5 million long at 41.9. And shout outs to the dude that's in a goofy long from 41.8. Where's your stop loss, my guy? He's talking about, baby, no. Tozoku-san, thank you for the resub. Let's get nasty. Oh, Banancio Magnito. 1,100 Bitcoin at 40,750. I see you, Binancio. Let's go. Can I get an exclamation, Binancio? Come on. Yeah, 4780 is whoever was like, what the fuck is SPX doing? 4780, biggest Bugama. Bugama. Jiner Sokol says, Will Smith, another Will Smith in report. Will Smith says there's no hot water at home. He's going to buy a new house with 100 BTC right now. Will Smith will buy. Yeah, but you're forgetting the other half, bro. Jada Pinkett Smith is selling it to August Alsina. So it's a net neutral data. I don't know why people keep talking about Will Smith is buying. Yeah, Jada Pinkett Smith is selling it right back. Biswine, what is the site that you use to look at gamma levels, unusual whales, and trading volatility? We're at about 350 on MEXC unrealized. We are over a milli total, including the Kraken. Let's go. Azaz says, can you show the liquidity at 39K? Let me show you the whole thangity thing. Here's the 12-hour, y'all. Here's the 12-hour. Okay? Here's your 12-hour. You've got a Z value of 14,700 at 42.3. Okay? Here's your 7-day. There's your 7-day grab down there. You just grabbed 124,000 at 41,150, if you remember that from yesterday. Here's where it gets interesting. Here's your 1 month. You've got 389,000 at 39.5. Hint, 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 if you remember my TP. You've got 400,000 at 38.6. Okay? And then you've got 420,000 at 35.1. My pleasure, Azaz. The higher time frame stuff really hasn't changed, but it's getting interesting. Maybe it's going to be tomorrow. Maybe it'll chill out for a second. Maybe do a bearish retest here and there. And most of you guys know about the whole previous day shit, right? You've pretty extended. You're extended really out from the previous day stuff. So you might have a full rotation play too. Some of you guys are going to try to front run the full rotation, right? So it'll be crazy if it goes down and dumps and sweeps 40K in the next 90 minutes, because then you have to be thinking, okay, what is Macaulay going to do? It's going to be interesting if it does it in the next 2.5 hours, because then it's going to fill you during Macaulay, and you got to be thinking to yourself, what is CME going to do? Right? Because CME is not going to gap inside the gap and not fill the gap. So you've got a scenario where you got to be thinking, okay, what happens if I get filled in the next 90 plus minutes? What am I going to do when Macaulay fills me and CME doesn't fill? And then the 1 hour after Macaulay Culkin, you're going to have daily candle close with the previous day value rotation. So even if I'm not here, you guys have levels and you guys have anticipatory plays that you can either wait for or front run, right? Howell Shot, I see you. Lee Kwok, how many of you guys understood all that? Lee Kwok says, interesting. Valid, right? And none of that was opinion. It was just me reminding you the different phases that we're gonna, So, cool. If you get filled and CME gap fills during when futures are running, awesome. There's one scenario. Right? If it does it during Macaulay Culkin, CME did not gap fill, so you know what that means. And then could you possibly front run all of that so you're already in a long, survive Macaulay or add to it, and then get the full rotation play when you get the previous day value area low and all that good shit? Bulls, all you got to do is give me an hour candle body close above the 41,380, and I would start believing your thang. Sato is still in a long, so don't worry. Well, yeah. But, bulls, show me an hour body candle close above 370. I don't think I'm asking for too much. Caps Lock says, I'm longing. Good shit. I'm rooting for you. You know you know what time frame I'm looking at, and you know what levels I'm looking at, right? Shit that we've been staring at for the last couple weeks. So nothing has really changed for me. And if these are my levels, and if this is what I'm looking at, I think it's pretty clear what I would start to use as invalidations, right? I'm staring at this. I'm staring at CVD. I'm staring at all these positions. I'm doing exactly what I said I would do. So I'm doing me. You guys should do you. Let's go. Juice. Trade Malia says, Kimba, what scenario should occur for you to be willing to close your position if the price does not reach your TP level? You tell me. Trade Malia, just right off of this, what would you say? Failed auction? Basically, that getting turned back into support. But I'm not going to close it out if it does a bearish retest. Okay? Basically, it just comes down to, would you be okay with, if you're okay with that, then I don't know where your entry is, but this is $2,000. So if you are in a short, you can close your eyes and you know exactly how much in unrealized you would piss away. If I don't TP at all here, it's about $1,200. So I'm going to have to make a judgment call, especially since I'm going to be on a flight. But you could have a bearish retest there, and you could have a bearish retest here. And don't forget about what we talked about if we don't tap this liquidity. Okay? CME gap. Coinbase range low. Okay? Liquidity and sweep at 39,970. So it's kind of up to, if it does this and it starts to do this, I might like maybe take out 15 or something like that, and maybe like 20 or 30 on the Kraken. Yeah, but this would be pretty basic. The other thing too is not really so much about levels. Have you been able to follow along? Like this guy opening up a $5 million long here, somebody opening up a $4 million long here, somebody opening up a $3 million long right here, and being able to notice that they really haven't started to close out until about here. And there's still about 5-6 million in longs that are trapped from here. So even if it does come up here and it starts to break above, it really depends on if I see anybody like doing some goofy shit. Okay, that's a level, but ultimately I'm going to be able to look at the open interest. I'm going to be able to look at the CVD, right? Do you remember all the stuff that we kind of talked about with this level, what I would want to see here? Okie dokie, Malia. I still have 14 minutes left. Maybe it does some goofy shit like that, and you see me market close. I don't know. I gotta, I'll try to stay as long as I can, but probably, maybe 5-10 minutes after market close, I gotta head to the heliport. Trade Malia says, sounds great. Thanks. My pleasure. And I kind of feel like all the other shit that we talked about in terms of timing is kind of happening right now. Remember when we were talking about you should have a plan on what you're going to do if you're going to get filled before market closes, if you get filled after markets are closed and it's just traditional market futures, what your plan is going to be if you get filled during Macaulay, and what you're going to try to do if you're going to try to front run the previous day value area low full rotation play, right? All that shit that we talked about and kind of I warned you guys on, it's actually coming to fruition. You have 11 minutes of traditional markets running. Can we give it up for Bugamas, ladies and gentlemen? Can we give it up for the math playing out and waiting for the poor low to get swept? Okay, all the higher time frame stuff and the conceptual abstract stuff we were looking for kind of already happened. So, now I think it's fair to talk about getting into longs and possibly closing the short, right? So it's up to you on if you want to front run the futures, if you want to front run Macaulay Culkin, if you want to front run the previous day or the daily open, right? I hope it's making sense. I honestly don't give a shit if you're going to hold your short until 25, and I don't give a shit if you're already in a long. All I care about is, are you making plans, executing? Are your plans based off of logical reasons? And let's get nasty with it. 10 minutes on traditional market close. Who juicing? Viper, let's go Viper Poker. Thank you for the resub. OG, let's go Viper. But if you put a gun to my head right now, 39, 38.8, you should really see a bunch of buying. The lower that you go and deviate from 40, it would almost feel like the pump would be a bearish retest of 40. Does that make sense, LPZ? So it's however way you want to interpret it, but you have to reclaim 40 really quickly, in my opinion. Thus, a swing fail pattern will be the easiest. And I think it's common sense to say that the further that you deviate from 40, your goofy ass might start to look like the pump is actually a bearish retest. So I think the most common, like if we were to talk about what you might end up see me start the stream with tomorrow, I might actually have my long entry at 40,100, or I might be in a long from 40 after I see it reclaim that level. So instead of trying to knife catch 39.8, 38.8, 38.5, 39, I'm really okay with having a 40,000 or 40,150 long entry, especially if we're going to go back to 50. So I hope that helps, LPZ. But I don't really care if it's a 39.8 long entry. I don't care if it's a 38.5. You might see me with a 40,000 entry. Somebody was asking, are you going to get into a long before you're fully closed on the short? And I was like, no, I could have both open. I could have only a one. Phelps says, Ape reaching key level. Are you still expecting Genesis sweep to happen? Ooh, Ape, huh? Maybe here. Bad. Bitch. I'll keep an eye on it. And if that long doesn't work out, I would still wait for the OG 70-cent long. Ninjaville says, is there a particular time frame you keep an eye on to really gauge what open interest is telling you? Sometimes you have to jump into the 3-minute, 5-minute. Ninjaville. Okay, sometimes you wait for a 30-minute. Sometimes it's not time-based, it's volume-based, right? The exo charts, when I dip, the ones, the stream, when you're going to, what you're going to see, these are volume-based. It's a new candle every $10 million. So if CVD is a volume-based indicator, it's easier and more reliable to notice a CVD divergence on volume-based candle closes, not time. You might see a CVD bull div on the 15-minute, but then you switch to a $2 million volume-based candle, and it's not there. Bugatti? Do you ever change your TP levels? You're just going to have to watch and see. Usually I don't, but if the data tells me to, I will. And the good news for you is that I tell you exactly what data would make me change it. Let's go, Ninjaville. Thank you for the cheer. Edgy says, open interest going down as price dropping means longs are getting wrecked. Correct. Not shorts opening. That is correct. So that's when we're okay to long. That is correct. But that's not because I'm telling you to, Edgy. Because historically, if you look at every single time it has bounced, it's when open interest gets reset, i.e., the market makers stop out all the longs and then they go. Okay, i.e., they go and stop out all the shorts and then they dump it. Okay, so it's not just about taking my word for it. I want you to be able to see that that's the pattern and that's when it's safe. And by the way, that's just one piece of information. If you're going to just look at open interest and be like, okay, fuck it, open interest looks good, I'm gonna long or I'm gonna short. That's as foolish as just being like, hey man, there's a bull div, I'm gonna long it, or hey, there's a bear div, I'm gonna short it. You would still want more confluence. That's why I always tell you a hidden bear div or a hidden bull div with confluencing open interest is the most OP thing that I can do. But there's been times when there's a CVD hidden bull div or bear div, and I won't act on my short or long plan because open interest isn't helping me. Corolla lover, can you explain the open interest as it reaches the target level again? Okay, I'm going to say it one more time, Corolla, but you can also rewind and also wait for the highlights too. Open interest going up, okay, it doesn't matter if the price is going up or down. Open interest is indicating if positions are opening or positions are closing. Okay, so if you want to long a level, the easiest thing for you, Corolla lover, is you see the open interest going down as you approach the level that you want to long. Okay, if I want to long here, I would love for open interest to go down because why? All the longs got stopped out. Okay, let's go. Fuck you, retail. If this is going down and open interest is going up, that means shorts are opening, and that is bearish, and I don't know if I want to counter that. So you might see me wait for a swing fail. Depending on the time frame, because obviously you can go to smaller time frames and you can go to smaller volume candles, you might have a situation where you tolerate open interest going up as you approach your level. So for example, this open interest nukes, okay? And then from here to here, you see open interest going up, which means what? Shorts opened. Okay? And then as you do this, you reset again, indicating that all of these shorts just got squeezed. And then you want open interest to go up as you keep going, meaning that it's bullish. So at the end of the day, you have to be able to read what's in front of you and be able to tell, okay, longs are opening here, shorts are getting here. If we go to this level, these guys are trapped. All right? So I don't want you guys to like memorize what I'm saying. Try to understand what I'm saying so you can be fluid and dynamic when you get to the levels, okay? Crunk the Best says, wow. Well, you know what? It's really not wow because there's hundreds of other lions that took it with me. Can we show some love to that entry? Can we show some love to that entry? Pico top. But you know that we planned for it days ahead and we took it live on stream? And did you know that we have planned and prepared for the upcoming possible long? So don't be surprised if we get the Pico bottom long again because we've been ready and planned for the last 2-3 weeks. So, and here's the thing. You didn't see the 3 other short attempts that we had that we got stopped out in a tiny loss or tiny profit or break even. Okay? So it's really just the journey, brother. You might come in and poke your head in and see something like this and, you know, but this was close to 3-4 weeks of work. I don't know how many times between end of December and mid-January or first week of January when people were asking me, what about the ETF? What about the ETF? You know how many fucking times I said, hey, man, we're probably going to pop up to 48, 49. Maybe we get to 50, 51, 52, but I'm shorting all that shit. And we're going to fully rotate down to 33. We were talking about that since end of December. So it starts with foundations of understanding that whether it goes to 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, I was ready to short the bitch. I was hunting for a short. You know, it starts there. If you didn't have that foundation, you were probably more bullish than I was, and so you wouldn't have naturally been as aggressive as me to try to take a short. And you might have been waiting for a 30-minute body candle close, or you're looking for a traditional sweep. you know, but I was extremely bearish. I was ready to be aggressive, and I didn't have to wait for a 30-minute body candle close, hence the entry, you know. I hope you guys are understanding, and the last couple of days we've talked about it, but I think that the 30, 31, 32 is a little bit less probability now. And I would not be surprised if we get a 39.5, 39, 38.5, whatever bounce, hold 40, and then we rotate back up to 50. So you shouldn't be surprised if I show up tomorrow with a Pico bottom 39.4 long. No, sir. I would expect you guys to have it as well. So do your best, have a plan, and think worst case scenario. If you get full filled and full stopped out, you shouldn't be emotionally compromised. You know, if you want to long again, you should have a plan in case you do get stopped out on your first attempt. I don't give a shit if we sweep 39 and we're back at 42 tomorrow. I don't care if we're at 33 tomorrow. I don't care if we're at 50 tomorrow. I cannot wait to regroup with y'all and see how we're doing. Me personally, I have broken down every possible what if this, what if that in terms of how I'm going to be managing this trade. Conceptually, you guys all know that it's pretty much a wrap, right? So it's really more about if I'm in a long tomorrow or not. The question really shouldn't be if I got stopped out on my short. It's really more about have I gotten into a long yet, right? I think for the most part, we're good. And I'm really excited to catch up with y'all first thing tomorrow morning. Spectral says, which exchange is Burj Khalifa short? What do you mean, Spectral? This is not a short. That's liquidity. And that's on all exchanges. That's the quantifiable level. There's the most on OKX. Second would be BitGet, then Bitfinex. You see it? Binance and Bybit is actually not that much. Retail. Hayato says, are you slowly looking for outlongs or is it too soon for you? Hayato, you tell me. This is ETH BTC. Do you remember what I said about ETH BTC? I'll be patient. Let me at least see this reset. And here's the thing. It might be different for you, Hayato. These are daily candles. And I think you've been watching me for quite some time now, Hayato-san. But bro, I waited damn near 2 years for this. I can wait another week. You know how long I've been waiting for this line to get broken? Damn near 2 years, my guy. I can wait a couple days. I'm honestly not tripping. I'm excited. I'm ready. You know what I'm saying? And I love the fact that it's giving me time to really get composed because I can think about, am I going to spot buy ETH here a little bit, right? I might spot buy some DOT and some Atom for like a little, you know, scalp spot, if you will, if that is indeed, if that's even a thing. Yeah, but I know that a bunch of people are excited about potential spot buying and out longing, and I'm right there with you, brother. Yeah, I would at least wait for ETH BTC to rotate back down to like the 0.5. But I like it hasn't even broken the top VWAP, so I'm going to be patient. I would love this. I would love the VWAP to slowly move up, right? And then I would love VWAP, Golden Pocket, Trendline, Confluence. And once that happens, I'm ready. But is there a chance that my goofy ass gets left behind at the train station? 100%. Hayato says, yeah, Anchor, VWAP, Confluence with 618. So I'll give it a little bit more time, Hayato. Yeah, but you know me, I'm getting ready. All right, y'all, you know what it is. Longers, I'm rooting for you. Shorters, I'm rooting for you. Bears, bulls, we're all lions, right? You guys stay safe. The plan is the plan. The math is the math. I can't wait to regroup with you guys. Make sure you get some rest. I need everybody's best. Options expirations tomorrow. Sato, tell them what happens if they don't use stop loss.